There is a saying from the lips of Jesus that still shakes the human heart after 2,000 years. A saying that exposes pride, confronts comparison, and unveils the breathtaking depth of God's grace. Jesus said, "So the last shall be first, and the first last. For many be called, but few chosen." Matthew 20:16. These words are not soft. They pierce. They reveal. They reorder everything we think we know about fairness, effort, and reward. In Matthew 20, Jesus takes us into a vineyard, a picture of the kingdom, a mirror of the soul. The Master goes out at dawn, then again at the 3rd hour, the 6th, the 9th, and finally, when the shadows grow long, at the 11th hour. And when the day ends, every worker receives 1 penny, not according to how long they labored, but according to the goodness of the one who called them. When the early workers murmured, the Master answered with a voice both tender and firm, "Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with mine own? Is thine eye evil, because I am good?" Matthew 20:15. These words uncover something deep within us, that subtle jealousy, that quiet pride, that hidden belief that God owes us more because we have been here longer. But then comes hope, a hope for every soul that feels late, unworthy, or overlooked. To the ones standing idle, lost, forgotten, Jesus speaks the gentlest invitation. "Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that shall ye receive." Matthew 20:7. We are living in the 11th hour. Time is short. Grace is still calling. And the question that heaven asks is not, "How long have you worked?" but, "Will you answer the voice of the Master, the one who loves you enough to call you still?"
Before Jesus spoke the parable of the vineyard, a question had been burning in the hearts of his disciples, a question that still echoes in the church today. Peter looked at Jesus and asked, "Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore?" Matthew 19:27. It is the question of a tired servant, a faithful worker, someone who has given much and wonders quietly, "Lord, does it matter? Does it count?" And Jesus, in mercy, assured them of a reward. But then he ended with a warning, a gentle, necessary warning. "But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first." Matthew 19:30. Right after this, without changing places or audience, Jesus immediately told the parable of the vineyard. Why? Because he was not just giving information, he was correcting a mindset. A mindset that says, "I deserve more. I have done more. I came earlier. Others are not as worthy as I am." Jesus tells this parable to break the spirit of comparison, to humble pride, and to reveal a kingdom built not on seniority, but on surrender. He wants his disciples to understand, in the kingdom of heaven, reward is not measured by how long you have worked, but by how fully you have answered the call. This is the backdrop. This is the heartbeat. This is why Jesus leads them into the vineyard, to show them the heart of the Master before he shows them the wages of the workers.
Jesus now opens the story, a story simple on the surface, yet carrying the weight of eternity. The vineyard represents the kingdom. The marketplace represents the world. and the workers represent every soul who hears the call of God. At the first hour, 6 a.m., the master goes out early in the morning. He finds the diligent, the eager, the ready. They agree to work for 1 penny. This is the believer who starts young, faithful, steady, committed. At the third hour, 9 a.m., he returns again. He sees others standing idle, and he says, "Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you." Matthew 20:4. These are those who answer God later, not first, but still willing. At the sixth hour, 12 p.m., the sun is high, work is heavy, yet the master keeps calling. Grace does not delay, it pursues. At the ninth hour, 3 p.m., most employers would stop searching by now, but not this master. He calls the tired, the uncertain, the ones who wonder if it's too late to begin. At the 11th hour, 5 p.m., the day is almost gone. Hope seems small. No one expects a second chance this late. But Jesus says, "Why stand ye here all the day idle?" Matthew 20:6. Their answer? Because no man hath hired us. No one wanted them. No one noticed them. No one believed in them. But the Master does. He says the most grace-filled words in the parable. "Go ye also into the vineyard." Matthew 20:7. At the final hour, when the light is fading, he calls the forgotten, the broken, the overlooked, the ones who arrived too late for everyone except God.
3 layers of truth hidden inside the vineyard. This parable is not merely about labor. It is about the heart. It is about grace. It is about the way God sees differently than man sees. Jesus reveals 3 deep layers. 1. Grace, not merit. The first truth is shocking. The kingdom of heaven does not operate on human fairness. The early workers believed they deserved more, but the master reminds them, "Friend, I do thee no wrong. Didst not thou agree with me for a penny?" Matthew 20:13. In God's kingdom, we are rewarded not because we earned it, but because He is good. No one earns salvation. No one earns grace. No one earns the favor of God. Every person in the vineyard, early or late, received the same gift because everything in the kingdom begins with mercy. 2. God breaks the spirit of comparison. Comparison kills joy. Comparison destroys fellowship. Comparison blinds the heart. The early workers were not upset because they were unpaid, but because others received as much as they did. Jealousy was the real issue. And the master exposes the root. Is thine eye evil because I am good? Matthew 20:15. When God blesses someone else, do we rejoice, or do our hearts whisper, "Why not me?" This parable destroys the toxic thought that God owes us more because we served longer, worked harder, or showed up earlier. In heaven's economy, pride has no place, only gratitude. 3. A warning to the church in the last days. This is the deepest layer. The 11th-hour workers represent the final generation, the forgotten, the broken, those who come to God at the very end. Jesus is gathering the last workers before the door closes. This parable is a wake-up call to the early workers, those who have been in the church for years but lost tenderness, lost humility, lost the wonder of grace. Jesus warns, "The last shall be first, and the first last," meaning those who appear insignificant may shine the brightest in the end. Those who came late may run with the greatest passion, and those who think they are first may find themselves last because their hearts grew proud. The vineyard belongs to the Master. The reward belongs to the Master. The timing belongs to the Master. And He is calling, urgently, tenderly, for the last workers to enter before the night comes.
This parable is not just history. It is a mirror. It invites every soul to ask 3 life-changing questions. 1. Am I serving God with gratitude or comparison? The early workers worked hard, but comparison poisoned their joy. The moment we say, "Lord, I deserve more," we stop seeing His grace. The Master's question echoes to us today. Is thine eye evil because I am good? Matthew 20, verse 15. Ask your heart, do I rejoice when God blesses someone else? Or do I feel overlooked? 2. Have I forgotten that everything is grace? Every breath, every opportunity, every calling, every reward. Not one of us earned our place in the vineyard. We were all standing idle until the Master found us. Humility is the doorway to joy in the kingdom. 3. What hour am I living in, and am I answering the call? Some watching this may feel late, broken, or too far gone, but the Master still calls the 11th-hour workers. He still says, "Go ye also into the vineyard." Matthew 20, verse 7. As long as you can hear His voice, it is not too late. The day has not ended. The door is not closed. You are not behind. You are being invited.
We are living in the 11th hour. The sun is low. The shadows are long. The Master is calling with urgency and tenderness. The question heaven asks is simple. Will you enter the vineyard? Not because you earned it, not because you deserve it, but because the one who calls you is good. If this message touched your heart, I invite you to respond with the words of faith, "Lord, I enter your vineyard," and remember the promise of Jesus, "So the last shall be first, and the first last." Matthew 20:16. The invitation is open. The reward is ready. The Master is waiting.